I ended up writing over 5,000 words for the description box, so I'm gonna just read it really quick because I don't know who needs to hear this message. And I feel like it's gonna touch someone, even if it do touch just only one person, which I doubt. But it get lonely being single, but I'd rather be alone than be verbally, mentally, or physically abused. My son watched me get abused, then he feel like it's okay to put his hands on his sister because his father is abusive or was abusive. Some of these black men hate themselves and will tear you down in the process if you let them. That's men, period. But if you stand for nothing, you will fall for anything. He's more concerned about talking to me than his son, than the parents wonder why the kids grow up being mentally fucked up or abusive or even harming themselves or charming others to use or manipulate them when they're adults. I feel that void of emptiness. I felt that feeling of when I used to feel that void of emptiness, it was replenished when I no longer felt misunderstood or didn't love myself or feeling like the only way to experience love is by being in a relationship. I don't need anybody. I used to be from relationship to the point like after my daughter's father broke my heart. It's like I didn't want to. I just needed something different. I needed to figure out why was I going through the things that I was going through, and why did I keep attracting the same type of men. A lot of these men don't even want a woman. They want to be a woman. How many of you found out your partner was gay, but you had suspicions? As a parent, it's not easy doing it alone. And they've been able to divide us and lead us down the wrong paths for too long. God didn't send us here to suffer, and our purpose isn't to get drunk or high all day, every day, and use and mistreat others around us. It's hard to trust people because they have hidden agendas. Stop settling for less and treating others higher. You don't want to be treated. Black women have some of the nastiest attitudes, not all, but it's hard not to have one when we constantly get kicked even when we're down. We carry the world on our shoulders or get talked down on because we look or act, because how we look or act, but no one can recognize all the pain and torture that led us to be this way, especially by men who have us but never was in our lives or did the bare minimum to take care of us or be in our lives. How can a man, a father, teach us how to love when he was never there to teach us? Having different families and kids all over. How many of you have siblings you never even met? Or you met later on down the line at a certain age? It pissed me off. Families are so divided. Black people don't stick together because for decades they tried to divide us and use race as a way to start a war. I met some white people where they went harder for me, was way more kinder to me than my own kind. And you will see a liquor store on every corner, but you won't see one in the suburbs. We're set out to fail at birth. When I met some black men who's so intelligent and they use their gifts to cook up drugs instead, or to their gifts for the wrong reasons. Men who like to carry guns or hurt others but won't sign up to the military or become a cop. A good cop, not a bad cop. Learn to work with what you have or use those negative emotions as something positive or for something that's good. You got to learn how to be an alchemist, like turn things around and into your favor. God don't bless mess, and you will always have that void or always look over your shoulder or not being genuinely happy, even if you pretend to be. People be telling me lies and I see right through them. You're lying to yourself, you're not lying to me, and everything done in the dark eventually comes to the light sooner or later. Sometimes others can see things in ourselves we can't see or don't want to see. Can't take advice from everyone, but use discernment, because in order for us to grow and get better, we have to help others other than expect to always receive. God is of love, and a lot of things we do, eat, or see is no good for us. I used to drink at 7 in the morning and pretend everything was fine. If you allow yourself to fall back into that sunken, dark place, it will happen. Like, it's this reader I love watching, but she gets on my fucking nerve because it's like she keep putting up fucking liquor bottles or little nips as a picker card. Like, what are you doing? And then I said this before, I noticed I started drinking again. But it's like, it's tempting. Temptation is a motherfucker. And if you're not strong enough, like, sometimes you will go back down that road or that path. And I really had to get myself together. But you have to be mindful of who you're watching on these tarot channels and who you listening to, because a lot of this shit don't be no good for you. They be having their own healing. Like, I have my own healing too. Like, my problems ain't nobody else's problems, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people could relate to some of the things I am saying. You have to know who is who and who to remove from your life and who to allow in. When I was married, my mother-in-law always told her son about him, how he treated me. People think that my best friend, that's my best friend. I'm a riot because that's my best friend. People be like, that's my best friend, that's my best friend. So if you know your best friend doing some shit they ain't got no business, you gonna still ride for that best friend? That don't make no sense to me. You can't get mad when you feel God's wrath for encouraging bad behavior. All the good people who try to do positive things for others get taken out or hated on. Stop making your problems other people's problems because you refuse to see the error of your own ways. If we never admit all the time when we're wrong, but trust this is the time to do it, because if we don't, what happens to our children and humanity? Spirit just showed me an explosion or earth that was wiped out. It was void, filled with void. We have to do better, even our enemies, because you never know what these dumbasses endure, and you never know what they went through and what they see in you or how they want to be like you, but don't know how to change or take the proper steps to change. Therapy should be mandatory, but instead they have sociopaths and psychopaths roaming the streets, and the only way they could protect you is if they actually harm you. They gotta harm you first in order to get some type of help from our system, our law enforcement system. The system is backwards for a reason. Seeing my mother suffer from mental issues and knowing people will rather hide than reflect pissed me off. They were like, oh, you know how your mother is. What the fuck you mean? So it's okay because I know how she is, or because just because she's my mother, I'm not supposed to say anything, or I'm supposed to stay in the child's place? Like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Not everyone is always ready to tune in or think about what caused them the trauma in the first place. Instead, they plot, scheme, and cause havoc in other people's lives. People will have so much trauma, but if they can't have enough power to make it mandatory to get a shot that isn't good for you, or they won't take themselves, then they should have enough power to get help for people all over the world to heal their deepest pain. Then they wonder why so many people snap and lose it. Depopulation. Stop encouraging bad behavior or siding with people you know is wrong. That shit will come back to bite you in the ass, as it should. Karma is a bitch depending how you live your life and how you treat others. You get what you put out. Stop wishing bad on other people or wanting to harm others or talk down on others, because I'm sure your shit stink too. Who the fuck is you? If what you saying isn't to help others, then focus on your own shitty life and be real with yourself, because my father will spank your boots or wipe your ass out for good. Especially if I call judgment. Then it won't be any time to correct anything. Like, this shit is crazy. The men who abandon their kids need to be ashamed of themselves. God will teach you when your penis start burning. He gives you warnings. That chlamydia or gonorrhea was the warning before he really have to slow you down with the diseases you can't get rid of. God loves us, but we have to learn to love ourselves, as well as stop listening to the haters opposed to the ones who really want to help us. Y'all don't hear me though. When your family started being cursed, how you live your life, when your family started getting cursed from how you live your life, you can't be mad at anyone but yourself. All that black magic you do on people, if you don't want it done on you or your loved ones, why do it to somebody else? The ones who put black magic on kids, you're truly a sick ass individual, because kids are so pure and innocent and they have nothing to do with the stuff that the adults go through. Using black magic to get a check, or using a child knowing that man isn't the father or wants you, you should be ashamed of yourself. Then you wonder why they turn out to be broken children in adult bodies, or just broken, period. Get your fucking life together. Like, the ones who don't know their parent or parents, you do so much damage to these children. That shit hurts, not knowing who you are or where you come from. Then you top it off with more abuse throughout the years. Why? Do you not love your kid? I wasn't ready for kids, but I was ready for a partner when I didn't have that. My kids felt the difference. When I ended up being single, my kids was the one who felt the difference. No one is perfect, but now my kids are all I need, along with God. Kids come first, and God, higher source, whoever you believe in. We have to do better, and don't tell me God don't exist, because he saved me from myself and dragged me by my little ponytail I had left from being in an abusive, toxic relationship after another toxic relationship after another. But that last one, I've been single since then. For all the haters that want to know. Love you first. Know who you are. what you will allow and what you won't allow, and stop letting people get over on you. If they hurt you before, they'll do it again. Set those boundaries and know God is of love and vengeance is his. Some of you play with people not knowing who they are, their spiritual rank. If I ask God to destroy you and he allow it, that means you had no protection because of your nasty ass ways. You don't know people's spiritual rank. Like, you don't know some of y'all don't know who y'all be fucking with. Do better, be better, live better. We all need each other, because my enemies are the reason why I was able to see my own ways, my toxic ways. People that don't want to change or pretend to leave them behind, don't let them drag you back down. Some of y'all think y'all God, and God will show you it's no comparison. You can never be God, whether you play to be God or not. Stop playing with my father before y'all piss him off and he have y'all shaking in y'all little tube socks someone else bought you or you stole. God will supply your needs. It won't be easy and you have to work for what you want. But trust, he will never forsake you. It was moments I didn't know how I would eat or my kids, but God always made a way. For those people who think they're rich and untouchable, God will humble you. You can't mistreat people or talk down on people, because God will definitely humble you in ways you never thought he could. You lack faith. You're greedy and nasty to others who you think is below you, but what makes you better than someone else who's less fortunate? The ones who will kill for money or take someone out for materialistic things. How will you feel if someone did this to someone you truly cared about? You curse your own bloodline, wanting something that doesn't even truly make you happy. It just covers up those demons you're hiding inside, and you try to please people that don't even give a shit about you. They'll only talk about you behind your back. Humble yourself before God do it for you. Doesn't matter if you believe in him or not. Some of you, your heads are so far up your ass, you just have to learn the hard way. Life and experience is the best teacher. Stop hating on people because you feel they have more than you or look better than you. You have no idea what that person has been going through or went through. Even lovers, how you hating on your partner or ex? Like, that's some bitch shit. Too many men out here is taking on the roles of the female while females have to boss up and handle shit. But you mad and angry at her because she has to pick up your weight? Someone please make it make sense to me. Like, men go out, take care of other people's kids, not their own. Someone please make it make sense. People hate when you tell the truth because they'd rather live in a lie. So they'll evil eye you, put juju on you, and tell you you're crazy when they're the ones who's delusional. Once again, who's teaching these kids if you're the one who have to be taught? What will happen to the kids if it get worse and not better? A child need both parents, not one. Even if you hate the other parent or each other, the kid shouldn't be involved. You didn't have hate for that parent when you was conceiving or having sex, right? So focus on the kids. Also, you people that sacrifice animals for evil rituals, God will get you. One night I kicked Snuggles by mistake because when he sleeps on my legs, and it pissed me off because I can't move. But he always, like, I don't know, Snuggles always have to lay on me or lay next to me, or he'll come in my face and he'll just cuddle up under the blanket with me. Like, I don't know. But I got called out for that shit when I kicked him. Like, God sees it all. So how you think he's gonna feel when you out here just orphan animals for no reason, for evil doings, for evil work? But also the ones who's fighting to be in relationships that wasn't destined for you, or go against someone's free will, you will also pay. Why are you fighting to be with someone you're not even happy with? Convenience? Trust, you will never be happy until you let go of the things that keep you stuck and stagnant. When I felt free was when God exposed all the people around me that didn't mean me well. It was hard letting go of people I cared about more than they cared about me. You're only harming yourself in the end. I kept singing that song. No more crying at night. The storm is over now. Listen to that song. It's called The Storm is Over by God's Property. There's many great leaders that died for us. Don't let your trauma keep you from having a blissful life. Give it to God. Give all your problems to God. Ask God to help you. The angels, because that's what they're there for. They want you to connect to them. Stop hurting people because you're hurt before it's too late. Like, that was it.